Hey guys. Okay, so today we're talking about a ton of different types of angles. So I'm going to start down here, where did you do that star, at complementary angles. So I'm going to zoom in on that section right here. So complementary angles. Anytime you hear the word complementary, that means 90, okay? So we got to get that in our heads. The word complementary means I'm going to add up to 90. So they don't have to touch. So I can have this angle right here and this angle right here. And as long as the two add to 90, they're complementary. So if this angle is 51 and this angle is 39, those are complementary angles. They can also touch, so they could also look like this. And I can use different numbers. I can use, let's do 27, why not? And 63. As long as I add those two angles add to 90, they are complementary. Okay, so those are the two examples for that. Next vocab is supplementary. And at this point, as I'm moving on, I do want to remind you, pause as you need to pause. I know I'm going to go fast, so that's why I'm recording this. Pause it, and then when you're done writing, go ahead and play again. Okay. So the word supplementary means 180 degrees, okay? So we've got two words here. 180 for supplementary, complementary for 90. The way I remember this, and this is what works for me, C comes before the letter S in the alphabet, right? Well, on a number line, 90 comes before 180. So the word that starts with C has the 90. The word that starts with S is 180. That's what works for me. If it doesn't work, don't use it. And trying to give you guys as many tricks as possible. Okay, so supplementary, 180. 180 is a straight line, right? And just like that other example, they can touch. Why not? This angle can be 80 and this angle can be 100, you know? Or they cannot touch. This angle can be 15 and draw a bigger angle and then 180 minus 15 should be 165. Yeah, so those are also supplementary. They can touch, they cannot touch, you know. Both work, but you need to know when you hear that word supplementary, you got to immediately think the number 180. When you hear that word complementary, you've got to immediately hear that number 90 in your head. Okay, pause if you need to, but if not, we're going to move on to a linear pair. And a linear pair are those supplementary angles that are touching. Just like in that last example I just did, you know, we can do 56 on this side, why not? And let's see here. 124 on the other side. Again, as long as for a linear pair, they have to touch, okay? That's what that word adjacent means. They have to touch. Okay, pause if you need to. If not, I'm going to move on to vertical angles. Vertical angles are going to appear a lot in this class, first and second semester. So it is very, very, very important we remember this guy. Super duper important. So vertical angles are angles that are across from each other. So in green, when I do these marks like that, those little like half circles, those are congruent marks for angles. So those green angles, that top and bottom, they are congruent. These blue ones that I'm now doing a 2, those are also congruent because they're also across from each other. So they can be top, bottom, or left, right. As long as they're across from each other like that and you're told they're vertical, they have the same measure. So for the blues, if this angle here is 81 degrees and I said they're vertical, this angle over here is also 81 degrees. The top and bottom. If I say this top angle is 99 degrees, that bottom angle has to be 99 degrees. Congruent. We gotta remember that word congruent. And remember, when we say congruent, this is the symbol we're gonna be seeing. So please do not forget that symbol. Pause if you need to. If not, we're going to adjacent angles. Adjacent angles are the one unique thing. It has nothing to do with measurement. It just has to do with positioning. Adjacent angles are angles that touch or that are next to each other. So let's name this angle, let's do A, B, C, and D. Why not? Notice here on this top angle and then on this bottom angle, they both touch that BD. They have this right here in common. That means they are adjacent, and that's what makes angles adjacent. If angles are floating around like this angle and this angle, notice all that space in between them. All this space right here. That means they are not adjacent. There's space between them. They're not touching each other. They're not sharing anything. So adjacent angles are that good picture, my little sketch picture here, are non-adjacent, okay? We went through 5 different types of angles in under 5 minutes. So please let me know if you need clarification on the vocabulary, because these different types of angles are going to be guiding the whole course of geometry. So it's very, very, very important we understand this now. So please let me know if you need help. If you don't need help, go ahead and move on to your lesson, okay, guys?